Hi everyone, I'm Christine from Readathon Musings, and today I am posting my first ever video book review. The book I am reviewing today is Charlotte's Web by E.B. White, and I actually read this for the very first time within the last 2 months. You may be wondering why that is, but that is because when I was growing up I used to watch the animated adaptation of this quite a lot, and even while I was reading this book I was incredibly I still remembered quite a bit of the movie, and so I always knew what was going to happen, and so it actually hurt my reading experience a little bit, but I did still enjoy this book. I rated it 4 out of 5 on Goodreads. So like I said, I remembered quite a bit of the anime movie that I enjoyed in my childhood while reading this. So every so often I could hear the actors' voices in my head, like Templeton, Wilbur, Charlotte, and Fern, and it was a bit distracting, but I also liked how closely that animated movie followed this book, because really no adaptation I really don't think has been as close to a book as that one was, and so I was really happy when I read this book and I found that out. But anyway, as far as the book goes, I really enjoyed it. I cried lots at the end. If you know the story of Charlotte's Web, you will know why. I did get a little aggravated with Fern at one point. I mean, I know it's just her growing up, but I did still get annoyed at her. I loved her brother. I loved his antics. I loved Templeton. Oh, Templeton, love you. Yes, even though he's a rat, I really loved him. And I loved, going more into depth about how exactly Fern took care of Wilbur, how long she took care of him, the things that she did with him, like pushing him around in a little doll stroller, and I just thought that was so cute. And that's what this book is. It's cute, it's about friendship, it's about growing up, it's got everything. And I loved some of the commentary that E.B. White put into this book. I can't think what it is off the top of my head right now, but I do remember there were some really good quotes, and I loved it. And I loved when Fern's mom went to talk to someone about Fern, and how, she's obsessed with Wilbur, she doesn't have friends, and then she talks about, and then they ask about her son, and she's just like, oh, he does this and that, he's a boy, he's fine. Yes, but be worried about Fern, because she cares about animals while your son acts like a complete lunatic. Not a complete lunatic, but just doing bizarre things, but just, typical boy stuff, and not really showing any sort of growth. Yeah. But so I really enjoyed this book. I definitely understand why it is such a timeless classic, and I loved this is the 60th anniversary edition that I have here, and I love the introduction by Kate DiCamillo, and I hope I say her name right. I love her books, so really hope I said her name right. But I loved how she said how she was so nervous about it growing up because, just the illustrations, and she didn't read it until she was an adult either. And so I really loved that. And I loved how she said, if she could go back and talk to her younger self about reading this book sooner, she would. And, yes, I definitely agree with all that. I was so worried about reading everything that happens to Wilbur and Charlotte and the rest of them in print, and that, again, along with being so familiar with the animated adaptation, is why it took me so long to pick this book up. And of course, if you read my FAQ, you know I am not a fan of spiders, so that was another thing that kept me from reading it. But I am really pleased that I read this book. This is the second book that I read in my Spring and Summer Classics Readathon that is currently going on until the end of September, and I will post a link to that in the description. So if you feel like joining, you can. There is no end date to sign up, so you can sign up any time whatsoever between now and the end of September. All you have to do is make up a post with classics that you hope to read, and the definition of classics for this readathon is books that were published before the year you were born. So I was born in 1988, so any books published in 1987 or before count as classics for me. So that's really all I have to say about Charlotte's Web. Definitely pick it up if you have not yet picked it up. Just pick it up, and do not wait as long as I did, please, because you really should not. It's that good. So that is all I have for you today. Hopefully I will have another vlog up soon. Until then, bye!